What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and having a great day. It's a little bit chilly outside today, but that is not stopping us from reviewing the 2023 Subaru Outback Touring XT. Huge thank you to Tyler Wright over at Stohlman Subaru of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Outback or any Subaru product, I'll be sure to have Tyler's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Before we get into the exterior and performance part of this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if each and every one of you guys would give this video a big thumbs up as well as hit that subscribe button. All those likes, comments, and subscriptions really help me and my channel grow. And the more likes, comments, and subscriptions that I do get, YouTube will promote my videos more in the YouTube algorithm. So I greatly appreciate it if you guys would do all three of those things. But with that out of the way, let's move into the exterior and performance. So like I mentioned, this is a 2023 Subaru Outback Touring XT. And this particular one has been painted in crystal white pearl. But for 2023, the Outback model as a whole did get slightly revised styling. So you get a slightly revised front end with a larger grille, new bumper, and slightly updated headlights. But we'll start at our headlights and we'll work our way down and around the side of the 2023 Outback. So we do get LED steering responsive headlights with high beam assist, as well as LED daytime running lights. And then towards the bottom of the front bumper is where you'll find your LED fog lights. Let's take a step over to the left where you'll find your satin black grille with your Subaru emblem at the center of it. You also get two gray metallic bars both on the left-hand side of your grille as well as on the right-hand side of the grille. And then you obviously have your Subaru emblem at the center. And then just below your Subaru emblem is where you'll find your front 180-degree view camera. Taking a step over to the right once again is where you'll find some satin black cladding that flares in just below your headlights. So you can see boom, boom, and then flares in just below the headlights. And then you also have another light gray metallic trim piece just below your front grille. Walking over here, you will find some extended cladding that wraps around your wheel wells, also in satin black. And then just below that is where you'll find your 18-inch alloy wheels with a machined face and black pockets. Machined face, you can see those pockets of that dark metallic paint, and then they are wrapped in a Yokohama all-season tire, which I'll show you guys the tread pattern on that here real quick. Boom. That's what your tires look like. And then just to the right of your wheel and tire setup is where you'll find your satin chrome auto folding heated power mirrors with integrated turn signal and blind spot monitoring. So that's your integrated turn signal. And then this is where you'll find your blind spot monitoring. So both on the inside of your driver's side mirror and also on the inside of your passenger side mirror. This particular Outback does have the $285 auto dimming exterior side view mirrors. So this mirror will auto dim, as well as the passenger mirror will auto dim at night if you have somebody behind you with, you know, their high beams on. This mirror, like I said, will auto dim, as well as your passenger side view mirror will auto dim as well. You get some raised roof rails at the top of the Outback, as well as some chrome window trim. Then you get body color door handles with a chrome insert. Boom, body color, and then chrome insert that dissects the center of those door handles. And then at the bottom of all your passenger doors, you have some more satin black cladding, and you can see it says Outback on your two rear passenger doors. So that is what that looks like. And then taking a look at the business end of the Outback Touring XT, you will find LED taillights. And then at the top of the roof, you have your shark fin antenna that's also in satin black with your camera. I'm not sure if the GoPro is going to pick it up all that well, but boom, that is where your camera is. That is your third brake light. Obviously, you have a rear wiper blade. Subaru emblem, just below your Subaru emblem is where you'll find your rear view camera. You got Subaru lettering on the left-hand side of the liftgate, and then Outback and Touring XT on the right-hand side of your power liftgate. And then you may notice that you do get a satin black bumper with 4 rear view sensors. So you got boom, 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 and boom for 4 rear view sensors total, as well as 2 reflectors, one on the driver's side of the rear bumper and then one on the passenger side of the rear bumper. And then also, just like the front end, you also get a light silver trim piece at the center of your rear bumper. So at the front bumper, you have that same trim piece, and then it follows through to the rear bumper. It looks very, very good. You also get a power liftgate, which I'll open up here in a second. So we'll pop that open. You will find the pad to open up your power liftgate just below the Subaru emblem. Boom, power liftgate opens up. You can see you get the all-weather floor mats. It says Outback. Looks very, very nice. Over here, boom, you can hang your groceries or something like that. Same thing on this side. And then you can see you have these door handle looking things. So if I pull on this, this will drop this side of your second row seats, and then this will drop this side of your second row seats. Harman Kardon sound system, which we'll get into here in a minute. Boom, opening this up, you will find your jack as well as your tow hook and stuff like that. And I believe under here is where you'll find your spare tire. So boom, spare tire under here. You got your jack, your tow hook, and then all the necessary tools to put on your spare tire if, God forbid, you do end up getting a spare tire. Got a 12-volt power outlet right there, and then you have this cargo cover, so when you have your power lift gate closed, nobody can see what contents you have in your trunk, which is nice. So boom, pressing that, power lift gate will fold back down. And then if you guys were wondering about towing capacity, the max tow capacity of this particular Outback Touring XT is 3,500 pounds. And then last but not least, this particular Outback has been optioned with the $195 splash guard. So boom, you got a splash guard there, got another one up here, and then all behind basically all your wheels and tires. But let me know what you guys think of the 2023 Outback Touring XT in the comment section down below. Do you guys like the revised styling at the front end? Like I said, let me know in the comment section down below. But with all that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2.4 liter boxer turbo 4-cylinder that makes 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a high torque lineartronic continuously variable transmission with an 8-speed manual shift mode for a 0 to 60 time in 5.8 seconds. And if you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 miles per gallon on the highway for 25 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button like I preached to you guys at the beginning of this video. All those likes, comments, and subscriptions really help me and my channel grow. But with that out of the way, let's move into the interior. All right, guys, moving into the interior. Obviously, this is a 2023 vehicle, so you do get keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can tell that the vehicle unlocks because the side view mirrors will fold out, but you can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these 2 hash marks, and the vehicle will lock. Obviously, you have to have your key fob in your pocket as well to do that, and you can tell that the vehicle locks because the side view mirrors will fold in. But let's take a look at the driver's side door panel. So you get some beautiful leather wrapping as well as a nicely padded leather wrapped armrest. You can see all that padding. This is some faux leather type material, aluminum door handle, black trim, 2 memory seat adjustment settings, automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. Pressing this button will power fold in your side view mirrors, power mirror controls, unlock and lock button, and then this will lock your passenger side windows, and then your passengers will not have window access. And then you have a good amount of storage space down here for some miscellaneous items. You can set a Deer Park water bottle right there. Then you got a Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds fantastic, but we'll get into that in a second. You get a 12-way power driver seat. You also get a power passenger seat. What I like about this is that you have a thigh extension. Beautiful perforated leather. It just feels super, super premium. Those are your seat controls. But let's step into the interior because it's a little bit chilly out here. And let's fire up that boxer 4-cylinder. So push your foot down on the brake and push to start, and the vehicle will fire up. Let's close that door. Boom. And boom, now the door is closed. So we'll start over here. This is your power hatch button. So if you press that, the power hatch will open. And then boom, if I press that button, that will turn the hands-free liftgate function off. This scroll knob right here will either brighten or dim your backlit gauges as well as your backlit buttons. This is your trip reset button. So you can see over here, it says 15 miles, and then just above it, it says 15 or 14.4 miles. that is your trip A information. So if I press this, that will reset that number, and then so you can see, boom, it went to 0.0 miles. Here is your headlight stock, but also your turn signal stock. So right now I have my headlights in automatic. If I twist this down, that's headlights off. Twist that up to right here, that is daytime running lights on, and then twist it all the way up, that turns my headlights always on. And then you can see this is your fog light switch as well. So if I flip that up, that turns my fog lights on. You can tell my fog lights are on because it lets you know that they are on right there. But one thing is that if you have your headlights in automatic but you have your fog lights on, you can see your fog lights will not turn on. However, if I turn my headlights on, now my fog lights are able to turn on. So just something I thought I would point out. I usually leave that in automatic. Let's take a listen to what that turn signal sounds like. That's your turn signal. And then you can see you have your downshift paddle on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. You got your upshift paddle on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. Let's take a listen to that horn. That is what your horn sounds like. You get a beautiful leather wrapped and heated steering wheel with your heated steering wheel function down here. It's very nice access to turn it on or off. It's just very simple. I love, because I usually drive with my right arm or right hand. So all I got to do is flip that and it turns on or off. This is to go back on a track. This is to go forward on a track. This will switch in between your different sources. So you can switch in between AM, FM, Sirius XM, USB, Bluetooth, whatever. And obviously your auxiliary jack as well. And then you can see you have arrows here as well as a button. So if I press this button, that will control this screen in here. So if I click up, that brings me into my Bluetooth audio stuff. That brings me into my navigation stuff. That brings me into my compass, as well as that's tire pressure stuff. This is, I believe this is interesting because when I came up to a stop, this screen popped up and it let me know not only how long I had the auto stop start, you know, on or off. So when you come up to a stop, it counts how long it turns off for, and then it also lets you know how much fuel you are saving. So I think that's kind of interesting and cool. And then you got your trip information right there. That's your fuel range, trip A. This is your time as well as your ambient exterior temperature, and then it goes back into that screen. And then down just below these buttons, this will pick up on a phone call, this will hang up on a phone call, this will also mute the radio. You can see mute is on, and then that is to speak to the vehicle. This is to lower your radio volume, this is to raise your radio volume. And then over here you have your adaptive cruise control settings as well as your upshift paddle. Like I said, get your heated steering wheel button down here, or I guess that's more of a toggle, maybe, I guess you would say. And then you have your windshield wiper stock. Pull back, that will wash the front windshield. Push forward, that will wash your rear glass. Push button start, that is your push button start down there. And then down here you have a manually adjustable tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Like I said, I love the leather wrapping on the steering wheel. And then just to the right of your steering wheel is where you'll find your Starlink 11.6-inch infotainment system with navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Just to let you know, if you guys are using your wireless Apple CarPlay and or wireless Android Auto, you may also want to option this vehicle with the wireless charging pad. So let's say you're using, you know, your wireless Apple CarPlay, but you're on a road trip and you know, you don't really know quite where you're going and your phone's about to start dying, you don't have a charging cord. It's nice to just be able to put your phone on the charging pad and let it charge, and you're still able to use your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But let's go back over to here because you do have a analog RPM gauge as well as an analog speedometer. This lets you know how much fuel, so that's your fuel gauge. That lets you know your coolant temperature. That lets us know that we're in park. Like I said, that is your odometer. Auto stop start is off. Trip A, that lets us know if we're doing bad on MPG, and then if we're on this side, that lets us know that we're doing good on MPG. And then you got your digital speedometer readout at the center of your productivity screen, which is fantastic. One thing that's also interesting is that this is for your Subaru eyesight stuff. So you can see you kind of have like a red dot, so that tracks your eye movement, and then it can pick up on if you are drowsy and stuff like that. So that is called your driver focus. It's a distraction mitigation system. So let's say, you know, you're starting to drift and you're drifting into the other lane, your lane keep assist picks up that you're drifting into your other lane, and then this picks up that you're tired. It will start giving you auditory things that, hey dude, you gotta wake up, you gotta wake up. I mean, that's not exactly what it says, but it will, you know, kind of, it will try its best to wake you up. But this is your hazard button. That's what your hazards sound like. Volume knob, tuning knob. If I press and hold on that, that will turn the screen off. However, I don't want to turn the screen off, so press and hold that to turn it back on. Now it's back on. That will also mute the volume. You can see it says mute on. Front defroster, this is my driver's side temperature controls. Passenger side temperature controls, boom, that will turn on my heated exterior mirrors as well as my heated rear glass. Tuning knob, like I mentioned, then that lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. That's your ambient exterior temperature. That is the time. This is your X mode, on or off. Boom, boom. Bluetooth, USB, iPhone. You can go back over here. iPad or iPod, iPhone, CD, auxiliary. You can go back over. And right now, this is, I guess, our media stuff. So you have your home button down here. You can go into your maps, radio, media, phone, apps, Subaru Starlink, My Subaru, settings, car information, display off, valet mode, auto vehicle hold, vehicle dynamics control. And then down here, this is your auto stop start on or off button. This is your vehicle button. So if I go into that, you can go into X mode, on or off again. Vehicle dynamics control on or off by the push of that, boom. Cruise control accelerations on standard, auto vehicle hold, steering responsive headlights on or off, auto stop start on or off. You can go into your driver assistance stuff, and then here are some more phone settings. Like I mentioned, this does have ventilated seats, but obviously it also has heated seats. So you got heated and ventilated front seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. And then this is your climate control stuff down here. If you guys want your climate control screen to get bigger, you press on that, and then you can see it takes up your whole screen for your climate control stuff. Boom. You can X out of that, X out of that, and go back to our home screen. That's about it for the screen. 2 HVAC vents. This is your e-brake, as well as you have an auxiliary jack, a USB-C port, and a USB-A port. You got a spot you could set your phone down in there. And then this is your gear shifter. I like how notchy it is to go to park, reverse, neutral, drive. It's just very, very notchy. You can go down over and then push this to the left, and then you have control of your continuously variable transmission that gives you 8 hypothetical gears, so you can downshift and upshift. Kind of cool, but we'll go back into park. This will bring up your front view camera, so that is your forward facing camera. Press that again and that will go away. You get 2 cup holders here that are very deep that I do like. And then opening this up, boom, you got this divider right here. Closing that, and then you open this up, you can set your CD down in there, as well as you have a 12-volt power outlet and a little bit of storage space for some miscellaneous items. Then up top here, you have your auto dimming rear view mirror with your compass. So that lets us know that we are facing in a southeasterly direction. And then over here, you have your garage, universal garage door opener. If I push forward or backward on that, that is my rear view camera mirror. So that is what was in your shark fin antenna. So rear view camera mirror, and then you have your rear view camera mirror controls over here. So you can either dim it, you can brighten it, you can go back over to here, you can bring it up, you can bring it down, just like you see in like Chevy products or GM products in general. You can do the same types of things on here, which I think is really sweet. Great spot to set a set of sunglasses up in here. Get your Subaru Starlink stuff right here, which is basically OnStar for a Subaru. And then if I have this over to the right, now when I open up the door, the interior lights will not turn on. However, if I push this to the left, now when I open up the door, the interior lights will turn on. And then up top here, you have your sunroof controls. So you can obviously pull your sunroof back like that, push forward, back, and that will close the sunroof. And then boom, that's like you don't have a sunroof. Boom, opening up your visors, you have a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights. Same thing for your passenger side as well, vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights. One thing that is kind of cool is that you can set your registration, money, any small like business cards or something like that, a small paper product. Same thing on the passenger side as well. Opening this up, these visors do slide. So if I pull back on that, boom, it slides back, boom, it slides forward. Then you can put it and then back to its original position. One thing that's interesting is that for 2023, Subaru did revise their Subaru EyeSight. So you also do get a new third camera that detects pedestrians. And then also they did revise their existing cameras to give EyeSight a wider field of view. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's just another added safety benefit to getting the Subaru Touring XT, Outback Touring XT. You got a good amount of storage space up top here. You get a lockable glove box. Good amount of storage space down in there. That side looks pretty much the exact same as the driver's side. Then you get an O-Poop handle up here, another O-Poop handle over here. But there are a few features that I wanted to read off to you guys right now that this particular Outback Touring XT does have, and that is that this does have the Harman Kardon sound system as well as a heated steering wheel. You also get heated and ventilated front seats, adaptive cruise control with lane centering, symmetrical all-wheel drive, and vehicle dynamics control. Hold on one moment. You also get EyeSight driver assist system with automatic emergency steering, driver focus, which is a distraction mitigation system, reverse automatic braking system, Subaru advanced frontal airbag system, driver side knee and front passenger seat cushion airbags, side curtain airbags with rollover sensor, front seat side impact airbags, whiplash protection front seats, brake override system and safety pedal system, blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert, anti-theft alarm and immobilizer system, front view monitor with 180-degree view viewing angle, rear vision camera, and a rear seat reminder, as well as you do get heated outboard rear seats, which we'll get into here in a moment. But a couple things I guess I wanted to read to you guys while we have a couple of these things on screen is we should talk about the comfort, convenience, and interior features. So you do get dual zone automatic climate control with an air filtration system. You get that Subaru Starlink 11.6-inch infotainment system, Harman Kardon speaker system, which sounds fantastic. You get Subaru Starlink smartphone connectivity and 4 USB ports, HD radio and Sirius XM satellite radio for 4 months for free, Subaru Starlink Safety Plus for 3 years free. You get that auto dimming smart rear view mirror with compass and HomeLink. You get that tilting and telescoping steering column. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. You can read through the rest of those features if you guys do want to, but I'll throw the rest of the window sticker on screen right now, and we should talk about the MSRP. So the MSRP of this particular 2023 Subaru Outback Touring XT is $44,384. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comment section down below. I think that is a good value because this thing is pretty much loaded up, and all the interior touch points feel super premium, luxurious. You get the memory driver seat, which is very, very nice. Heated steering wheel, heated second row outboard seats. I mean, this thing's got pretty much every option, you know, that you could possibly want. And let me make sure that I've talked about everything that I've wanted to talk about before we move into those rear seats, which I have. But let's move into those rear seats and see what's going on in those second row seats. I know I'm gonna have to fold them up because I folded them down when we were at the exterior part of the video. The rear door panel looks pretty much the exact same as the front door panel. I mean, you get beautiful leather wrapping, faux leather, aluminum door handle, a good amount of storage space at the bottom. You can also have a water bottle being set right here. This is what these rear seats look like. Boom, looks very similar to the front. Let me fold these seats up as well. So boom, now those seats are folded up. You get a nice center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, and this is also nicely padded. Boom, like I said, your second row outboard seats are heated with 2 levels of adjustability, 2 HVAC vents, USB-C port, USB-A port. You got your seat back pockets. You got one on top, another seat back pocket on the bottom, and then same thing for this passenger side as well. Boom, this seat back pocket, you got 2. So I think that's pretty sweet. Dome light, you got an O-Poop handle here, another O-Poop handle, a spot where you can set your dry cleaners, and then obviously the same thing goes for on that side as well. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now on to the driving portion of the review, where we always start our videos right here and we rate all the cars that go over these speed bumps. We go 5 miles an hour over the speed bump. Okay, that's the first one. It did very well. Let's see what it does over this second one. You can see what I was talking about. See how it goes into like the plus when we're getting better fuel economy, and then goes into the negative when we're getting worse. So 5. Oof, I gotta give this thing, let's give it like a 7.9 out of 10. Nothing's ever gonna be a 10. 9 is pretty dang near perfect, and this thing really rode over those speed bumps very, very well. So it's looking good for suspension. Let's see how it does on the open road. We're gonna take it right onto here. We'll do a mild little acceleration when we're first starting off here. Make sure nobody's coming. I know we got, or they got a green light, so we'll be good to go. We'll do a little acceleration here. Let's see what it does. Pretty good acceleration, man. I really didn't have to put my foot that far into the throttle in order to get it up and going, and it just really got up and going very, very well. I believe it makes 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque, and yes, it is mated to a continuously variable transmission. But one thing I wanted to show you guys is that while it does, you know, do its continuously variable thing in drive, excuse me, I can throw it into manual, and you can see we go boom, 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 and now it's got simulated gears. So right now we're in 3rd gear. I can upshift, 4th gear. So theoretically, it switches it to basically just a regular automatic transmission while still being a CVT, if that makes sense. So it gives you simulated gears. But we'll throw her back into drive because we're not going to be doing really any sporty driving. I really don't think that those of you guys who are going to be buying this are really going to be upshifting and downshifting. But you know, who knows? You guys might be, I don't know. But maybe we'll do a little paddle shifter test here in a minute. But I want to show you guys how it drives just regularly. You can see we're just, you know, cruising into traffic at regular speeds, going up on this red light. The brakes work fantastic. That's another thing that's nice, is that you really don't have to put your foot that far into the brake pedal in order to get this thing to slow down. For some reason, this minivan's flashing the heck out of that other Subaru. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, I mean, it accelerates very well. Right now, I've got my foot just a little bit into the brake, but if I push all the way down, watch what happens. You can see it turns off. So now you get the timer, like I was mentioning when we were talking about the interior. You get your timer, and then once we get around 5 seconds, you can see how much gas we're saving. We go up to like, I think it's 12 seconds where it resets it to, oh, I guess not. Vehicle is ahead has moved. I like that. I've not seen that in another vehicle or any other vehicle that I've tested before, where it tells you that you're basically asleep at the light, which I was not asleep at the light. I was kind of just showing you guys, you know, how much fuel it was saving. But I like how it gives you a sound to let you know that you got to get going. You got people who were ahead of you who are moving. So put my foot just a little bit farther into the brake pedal. I guess it's not going to turn off this time. But I want to see that again. I want to see how, when I'm sleeping at the light, how the other car goes, and then it lets me know that the other car has accelerated. I want to see how far they get out before, see, boom. I like that. So if you guys are, you know, doing something that you shouldn't be doing, like being on your phone at the light, and you're not really paying full attention to driving, I like how it's like, dude, you got to get going. The car in front of you has moved. So I wish more manufacturers did that. I like that. I think that's not only a safety feature, but that is a feature that, you know, keeps you, or I guess the car keeps you, considerate of people who are behind you who are maybe in a rush or something like that. So you're not just asleep at the light. You don't have to have somebody honk at you like, hey dude, pay attention, because the car is making you pay attention, or the car, I guess, is paying attention for you, which is a very, very nice thing. So we're going about 55 miles an hour here, you know, in Mexico. No, but you can hear that the insulation from the outside world is very, very good. It's not like super windy in here. It's very well insulated from what's going on around you. The brake bite is very good. I like that. You know, some cars that I get into that are even new cars is you really got to put your foot far into the brake pedal in order to get those other cars to slow down and or come to a complete stop, whereas this, you really don't have to do that. It just comes to a complete stop with very minimal effort, which I can definitely appreciate. One thing that I've noticed anyway is that the throttle response, I guess you could say, when coming off of a stop is more geared towards fuel economy. So when I'm coming up, I'm just gonna, you know, do a regular acceleration. you can see that once you get up to around 20 some miles an hour, it really starts to let off. And you know, it's trying to give you, you know, a more economical acceleration rather than a sporty acceleration. So it's basically trying to help you save on fuel. So I guess some people might like that. Some people might, you know, be harder on the throttle, but all you got to do really is just put your foot a little bit harder into the throttle, and it will really, you know, accelerate more. I got this dude right behind me who's really just riding my tail. So I guess I might get out of this lane, but anyway, you can see you got lane departure warning, and you have those two lights up top there. One flashes to let you know that you're drifting out on that side of the lane, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, this thing cruises very, very nicely. Definitely the suspension soaks up the bumps and the inconsistencies in the road also very, very nicely. We'll do a little mild acceleration here at this light, and we'll see how she does. But we're not going to do anything crazy, just a little something something, more than one would normally do at a stoplight, but definitely not floored. So we'll wait for the light to turn green, and then we'll do a little acceleration. Damn, once you get up around 3,000 RPM right there, it really just puts you back in your seat. And then boom, right up to the speed limit. So it accelerates very well. I was honestly taken back right there because I had not gotten on this thing at all since I picked it up. But the acceleration, when I, you know, gunned it a little bit, I was surprised that at 3,000 RPM, it really just started pulling. I could feel all those 270 pound-feet of torque. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that honestly, that took me back. And one thing I also wanted to mention, and this has to do with the Harman Kardon sound system, is that it sounds very, very good. I want to play some music for you guys, but if I do, then, you know, I'm going to get a copyright strike, or I might get in trouble with YouTube, and this video is going to become demonetized. So unfortunately, I cannot share, you know, a sound clip with you guys. However, even if I did, the camera's not really going to do it justice. But the Harman Kardon sound system sounds fantastic, just like any other Harman Kardon sound system in any other vehicle. They all sound very, very good, so it's nothing different here. So yeah, I think this thing is just an overall really premium feeling vehicle, especially for the money. You know, this is a mid 40 range vehicle. And I love the leather. The leather just feels super, super premium. The seats are very, very comfortable. And I have to say that I usually say that Fords are the most comfortable vehicles with their seatings. And I still, you know, I hold that to be true. However, this thing is very, very close to Ford seat comfortability. These things are very, very comfortable. The padding in the seats is just very, very nice. The back support is fantastic. And I like how I have these thigh extensions. So if I'm on a long road trip and I just want a little bit more thigh support, I can push this forward, and then it's going to give me the thigh support that I want. But you know, very comfortable on the interior. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now with the Subaru Starlink system, which is fantastic. But just keep in mind that if you're using the wireless Apple CarPlay, it does chew up a little bit of your battery, so you may want to look into getting the wireless charging pad. Just a recommendation. You know, obviously you don't have to get it. You can always bring in, you know, your charging cord, but there's that one time you forget your charging cord and you're using the Apple CarPlay, or your phone's just, you know, low on battery. Then, you know, it's nice to just have that charging pad to, you know, have your phone be charged at all times. But one thing that I wanted to mention before we skip to the 0 to 60 test is that this does have the rear view camera mirror, which I pointed out to you guys when we were on the interior part of the video. But one thing that I like about the rear view camera mirror is that it really helps you with your blind spots. So I know just like a regular rear view mirror is not going to give you such a wide view. So I think that's awesome, is that it helps you with your blind spot. Even though you do have your blind spot monitoring, which you can see is lit up right now, it's still nice to have, you know, kind of a double security or safety net, I guess you could say, a safety net between this blind spot monitoring ish up top here with the wider field of view, as well as your blind spot monitoring on your mirrors. Those two work in collaboration with each other, just so you guys never veer into a lane and get into an accident by accidentally, you know, switching lanes when somebody is actually in your blind spot. So that's a very nice thing to have, is that rear view camera mirror. But yeah, so let's skip to that 0 to 60 test now. All right guys, coming up to our 0 to 60 test spot, all we got to do is come to a complete stop and floor it, which we'll do in 3, 2, 1, floored. whew, see, it starts to rip once you get up higher into the RPM. That thing rips. Like, I'm not even messing with you guys. Once you get above 3,000 RPM, it starts to pull. And I'm not exaggerating, guys. Like, actually, it really starts to pull. And I just did another little acceleration. I was so taken back that it honestly, it shocked me at how well that it pulled above 3,000 RPM. That CVT actually works very, very well compared to some other CVTs and other vehicles that I've tested before. It just shifts, boom, boom, boom. So I'm very impressed by the acceleration of this Subaru Outback Touring XT. And I read somewhere online that, you know, we don't recommend getting the upgraded 2.4 liter from the naturally aspirated 2.5 liter. And I know it's a $6,000 upgrade, but I think it's absolutely worth it. After driving that and feeling that acceleration, I'm very impressed by the acceleration out of the 2.4 liter turbo 4. Very, very impressed, honestly. So to summarize this vehicle, it rides very well. It's super, super comfortable. Sound system is fantastic, and I love the rear view camera mirror. But that's it for today's video, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I didn't say this earlier on in the video, but I'm gunning for 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys would help me get to that goal, I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.